I gotta start, right?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2. Hold on.
Just start
Sorry.
it, dude. Just start it. No,
right.
just start it. Laughs and all.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Whiskey Talk with Three Dudes.
Oh, wow.
The extended
new
version.
intro.
A
Nice.
new
You've
intro.
You've been working on that.
Yeah.
Episode 51.
I can tell. Is it 51?
It is.
It is.
Area 51.
Other than I haven't posted it.
Let's
that's
talk
my
about-
bad.
Let's talk about aliens. Area 51.
Aliens.
They're
This is the
everywhere.
alien. We're talking about all the aliens.
The illegal kind, or
Oh, yeah.
just
All
the-
of them, bro.
Oh,
I'm all inclusive.
okay.
Okay.
I mean, because you can't build a space wall. I don't know how that's gonna work.
I mean, we have an asteroid belt.
That's why we need a
true,
space
true.
force.
No, I
Oh, did you hear about this guy with the 3D printer? They're gonna build a rocket.
with a 3D printer.
Yeah. It's
Out
in,
of-
it's
out
in
of what?
It's in Bourbon, I think.
How big is a fucking 3D printer?
I know it's,
It's
gotta be
big,
huge.
dude.
Well-
It takes the whole room. And
Well,
like two of
Yeah,
them.
I've actually heard of like 3D printed buildings, like houses and
Yeah,
stuff.
I've seen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw it this week. I was like, that's pretty crazy. This is what they want to do. They want to build a spaceship
Mm-hmm.
out of the 3D printer, then
Uh-huh.
shoot it to Mars, and then in Mars make a rocket coming back.
What the fuck?
Wait. Okay, so shoot the 3D printer to
Yeah,
Mars.
so they have to take all the material and
to
everything they're gonna
transport it.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to come back, they're gonna build one that in Mars and come back. Supposedly in 2020.
How long's the battery gonna last, or what is it powered by? Because I don't think they have.
Probably solar. I would
Ganas.
imagine. Con
Yeah,
ganas.
They don't have AC/DC over there.
Oh.
do they?
I don't think they do.
No, I mean, what kind of they might need a converter. Do we have a Mars converter as far as like power plugs converters for Mars?
It's true
or-
because like when you travel, you don't know which plug you gotta take.
Right.
So
That's always
Yeah,
smart
that's
to
true.
have on hand when you travel.
yeah, I usually have one in my bag, even though I know I probably don't need it. But
Yeah,
Yeah, you never know.
it's good to be prepared, right?
Yeah.
I guess
That's
Yeah.
crazy though, man.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy. That was some news I heard.
Science
sounds-
is
that's scary. We need
Exciting
we need
sometimes.
background checks. Not everybody needs rockets to be shooting up into Mars.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's my piece on
But
that.
who's doing it though?
Some guys.
What?
Why do they have to be guys? It's 2018.
Oh, true.
Come on.
I
Don't
know.
assume, bro. It could
Some
be
engineers. Some
Okay.
engineers. So,
engineers. Okay,
yeah.
that's cool, man.
I didn't get the name of it. Probably did.
Yeah.
I
But you
forgot.
you're like me. I like glance over it, and I think I understand sometimes. Like that, I read it. I think I understand, but
Yeah. No,
probably.
I guess not.
Yeah, no, I didn't even see that one. That's pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, I thought it was pretty.
that's interesting.
I was like, wow.
So, what we're drinking today, we are revisiting Bulleit
Mhm.
bourbon. I think this was like one of the first whiskeys Eddie and I tried. This was
yeah, it was.
prior to Larry joining us.
Yeah.
I just wanted to revisit it because Eddie had sent us a picture of it, and we're like, "Oh, we're revisiting this." Sure. So, you know what? This second time around, I'm kind of actually enjoying it a bit more than the first time
Yeah,
we
I
tried
think
it.
I like it with ice.
I like it with ice too. I even like I like it neat too.
I
though.
don't. I just dumped out my ice.
Yeah, you just want to eat, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
But you
this
like
one,
the
I-
rye flavor, though.
I think it loses a lot. Like
Mhm.
when you leave it sitting there with the ice, and
Oh,
it
yeah, 'cause
doesn't
it
really.
waters down.
Yeah, it doesn't really stand up well to the ice. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
I
Like
still
at first,
it.
That's
like
true.
like if you add the ice, take a sip, and then take the ice out, that would probably be fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm at with this. But I think the cup, now that the cup's actually cool from the other ice, I think it
Yeah.
should be fine.
Well, so this is known as a frontier whiskey. Now, earlier I was commenting that maybe it's known as a frontier whiskey because if you add ice to it, I mean, because back in the day it was hard to get ice back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to make a whiskey where it was easy to drink in the heat.
Yeah.
You know, it's just enough flavor.
Yeah, I could
and
see that. Yeah,
Maybe I don't know. It's just theory.
maybe.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not. I
No.
mean, I'm not crazy about it. It's not like, oh my god, I have to go in and grab a bottle of this. But it's.
It's a good bottle.
I see it a lot.
Gift.
Yeah, I see it a lot around some of the bars.
They use it a lot with. They replace Jack Daniels with it, or like Coke and stuff like
See, and I don't know. I don't know if they should be doing that.
Almost as big as my face.
that.
Yeah.
Bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shout out to my boss. She's the one that got it.
Yeah. That's
And
pretty
you gotta finish it in how long?
A month.
cool. Fuck.
That's not gonna work.
I think they're trying to tell you something like you're gonna need one of these after work, like every day,
Yeah.
because it's
For
about to
sure.
get crazy. It's about to go down.
It's about
It's
to
been.
go down.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a
I
good
like
thing.
it.
It's
Yeah.
the season for you guys, right?
Yeah, it is right now.
Oh yeah, tis
It's
the
crazy.
season for
Everybody's
AC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my brother's been pretty busy. He's in the same industry.
Oh yeah,
Does the
yeah. They work a
installations.
lot. This is the time where you make your money for the whole year.
It's kind of like what do they call those? The tax people or whatever. The people that prepare your taxes.
Oh,
What are they
yeah.
called?
Accountants.
I guess accountants, CPAs.
Oh.
Right,
Yeah,
CPAs.
yeah.
Yeah, during tax
Do you know what
season.
the A in CPA stands for?
Accountant.
Accountant.
No way.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Hit
But what
that.
does a CP mean?
I think it's certified public accountant. If I
Yeah,
think
échalo.
it is.
No, mira.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
a wealth of knowledge in that noggin.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, they make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
it's,
But yeah, they're busy usually, during tax season, because I used to know, well, I still do know some tax people personally, obviously, because I gotta do my taxes every year. I don't want to look like Wesley Snipes.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they make some pretty good money, and then the rest of the year, I mean,
And find something else to do.
find something else to do or just chill.
What the
What is
fuck?
this going on?
My bad. I was gonna put it on
Oh.
live, but this thing turned on.
All right.
Very well then.
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
Hello.
Hold on, is all this? I gotta make sure my volume is down because I'm gonna go on the live here just in case. Oh, there we go. But yeah, oh, what a day! It's been pretty humid today.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Really
supposed
humid.
It's supposed to go away. It's supposed to go away here in the next couple of days, and then it's just gonna be hot.
Speaking of air conditioning, today I got a call from school district, and they're like, "Hey, where's my AC? So it feels humid inside the classrooms." And I was like, "Well, it's kind of humid and monsoon weather right now, so
Speaking of monsoons,
that's what they're referring."
300 people died in India because of a monsoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I mean, it's not that I want to make fun of it, but
Mm-hmm.
like 300 people in the country that's so populous almost seems like maybe it was just like something that was really like small locally, like area wise, but
Oh, okay.
because it's really really populous. I mean,
It really is.
It's
in
crazy.
India.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
It's
a lot
pretty
of people in India.
Not saying that it doesn't suck that they're
No,
died,
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Yeah.
that like I mean, it would be something similar. It's like, oh, if something happened, and if something similar were to happen in downtown LA, like
yeah.
probably more than 300 people. So
Oh yeah.
who knows? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. So I was listening to the radio on the way in, and they were talking about so let me ask you guys this to see
Mhm.
if you know the answer to this. If you're in a garage
Mm-hmm.
and the power is down,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a garage door opener,
Mm-hmm.
how do you open your garage?
You pulled the tab.
Pull the little
Okay.
thing there, and then
So apparently,
don't
there's
tell me someone died.
apparently no. Check this
Oh,
out.
okay.
I wish they would.
No, I was gonna-
Apparently, somebody was trying to get out of their garage.
Mhm.
I don't know if it
Mhm.
was during one of the fires or whatever, and they pulled the thing,
Yeah.
and they said that they were having trouble lifting their heavy garage door, which I remember when we were kids. I was probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8.
Oh, when they
this
had
was
the
like
wooden ones.
this was and those motherfuckers were heavy as fuck.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they
heavy.
were.
Yeah.
I remember those shits.
I haven't seen one of those in fucking ages though.
And they would open up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And
I
then
haven't seen one of those
these
in ages.
Go like this. and
They
it
just
fold
roll
in
up.
like that.
Well,
roll
if
up.
he was in the garage, I'm pretty sure he had I don't know how fast the
Mm.
fire was going, but I'm pretty sure he has a tool where he could just take that level down because it has a little, where.
Well, I don't know if they were trying to evacuate like quickly. I
That's-
don't know.
yeah.
But so apparently because of this,
Mhm.
they introduced a bill that all new garage doors should have a battery backup. And
That's expensive.
yeah, no. Well, first of all, I don't know. Yeah, like how are you gonna do that? Just wire it to the circuit that's for the garage door opener,
Yeah. How? what are
or
you gonna
because
need?
I think I've only seen one garage door opener that has an actual battery. Like I think it's a Ryobi one, and I don't know if they like stopped making them or if they're like super expensive. I don't remember. It was something like super dumb, right? But I was like, because I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then because you could add stuff to it, but then I was like, that's probably really expensive.
Yeah.
And so
Oh yeah.
I think that's a bullshit idea. That
They're just
it's
trying to-
because they couldn't lift a garage door. So I'm gonna introduce a bill, and it's gonna be so there's this, they were referring to it as the battery backup bill.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna call bullshit on the battery backup bill, and I'm gonna fucking introduce a bill, and it's gonna be called the "Do you even lift, bro?" bill. Because
So
somebody
are you-
needs to fucking hit the gym if they can't lift a fucking garage door.
Are
They
you-
can lift a fucking legislative
Uh-huh.
pen, but they can't lift a fucking garage door.
So
Get
what,
the fuck out.
what
of
you're
here.
saying is you want to present a bill that will force people to work out,
To lift
to lift.
bro.
I'm done
until
with that.
until they
You know
can lift
what?
a garage door.
You know what?
Yeah, take a test.
Why not
Yeah.
get all of our people healthy? That way, our health insurance premiums will go down.
But they won't.
They won't.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the
they'll just stay
problem.
the same
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
That's the problem with just these medical companies.
They're not based on that. They're based
They
on
can charge whatever
Yeah.
the hell they want,
pretty much.
Mhm.
and then there's douchebags like that. I can't even say it. Shrek, that stupid billionaire kid dude, whatever he is.
Oh, the guy that bought the
Right.
Wu Tang album, Martin Shkreli.
yeah, I can't say his last name, dude. Shkreli,
I guess. I think that's his name.
more like scrotum, but whatever.
Yeah.
Is my opinion.
Screw.
Yeah, and there's dicks like that will up the prices on certain medications that.
But see, okay, part of me, like,
Mhm.
and I still haven't looked into this, but I have to find what the actual reasoning for that was because there might have been one, right?
Mm,
For lowering putting
Well,
raising the
price
prices on.
Okay, look, let's look at the way that the media reports shit these days,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Right.
They were probably like, "Oh, you raised the price." Well, maybe there was a reason for it, and they, of course, like they never publicize that because it's a better story to publish, just the headline that it went up, you know,
Sensationalism.
explain
a few
why,
hundred, a
yeah.
few 100% for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know. So I the guy has a very punchable face. I will give him that.
Yeah, he really does.
But
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of,
But
you
isn't
know,
he in jail now?
Yeah, I don't know. But it wasn't even because of that. I think it was for some other shit.
Mm. Well, that just tells you if this dude's in prison, is there really a legitimate reason to?
Do we really want to head down that road?
Sure.
I mean, because there's a lot of people that, like, you know, have gone to prison and come out, and they're alright people. Like, maybe they made some shitty decisions, but
Right, like Martha Stewart.
That's the one I was gonna say
Yeah.
right now too. That's exactly what I was
I
thinking
mean,
about.
but I'm just saying though,
She's-
like,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
wouldn't
okay.
eat any of her food.
huh?
You wouldn't eat any of her food because she's been to prison.
Is she really a cook? I thought she was like a
She does a lot of shit.
home interior. Oh yeah, she does do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I would let her, you know,
Make you some food.
make me some food or decorate the interior of my home or whatnot. Sure, why
Yeah,
not?
there you go.
No, Christopher Lowell is the only man to decorate.
He has the power. How many?
The 10 gay men.
That,
He's
that, that dude was awesome. I used to love
He
watching
was
this
he was
show.
the world's gayest man. I wonder what he's
Who's
doing.
it?
This is what
I
he's
do
up to.
too. Christopher Lowell. This is back like in high
Uh,
school, man. He used to
yeah.
have some like interior design show
Yeah.
back in the day. I used to love watching that shit. That shit was
The
pretty
dude
cool.
was super gay, but he did a good job.
The dude knew his shit.
Yeah.
He really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Master at his
awesome.
craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he had the power of 10 gay men. Because he,
Wow.
like, you know,
Right.
he was that good at interior design.
But I mean, back to Martin Shkreli. I mean, that's still some shitty shit too. I mean, maybe there's a story. I don't know. I always approach things with skepticism. Like, I mean, global warming. I mean, I'm not denying it. I'm not
And it's
gonna
pretty
say
hot.
there is.
That's pretty hot outside.
It's pretty hot, absolutely. But you know,
But I don't know if that's what that means.
but years ago, I mean, you know, the science say that eggs, you know, or cholesterol was bad for you. Now they're saying that it's good for you. So I think it's important to take things with a grain of salt and a little bit of skepticism sometimes.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
the salt might cause cancer.
It might too. I mean,
Well,
what
they said
doesn't?
coffee was good for you, and
What
then I was in
doesn't?
there. It's not.
Well,
that doesn't-
see, and that's another story that came
Yeah.
up, and that's why I brought that up, is because they're talking about, like, there's this whole thing about, like, oh, coffee causes cancer, whatever.
Right. Mhm.
Okay, so there's, at least from what I heard, and it was a very limited, like, thing that I was able to look into it. There's something that comes out during the roasting process. It's like some sort of acrylate, like I forget what the actual name for it was.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saying, oh, well, that's known to cause cancer. It's like, well, yeah, but at what levels, you know? Like, if you're talking about parts per billion versus, like, you know, I don't know, taking a fucking swig of it,
Uh-huh.
you know, then yeah, that's a different thing.
It's kind of like with fluoride too. I mean, people are freaking out about it. and
Well,
they're
water
like,
will kill you.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
if
Well,
you
yeah,
drink
you'll
too much of
drown,
it. No,
or-
if you drink too much of it.
absolutely, like that lady. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. So everything.
Everything will
there's
kill
a-
you.
everything will
Everything.
kill
Everything
you.
with a grain of sand.
Yes,
Yeah. Even the
take
sand will kill you. Quicksand.
Yeah,
Ah, that's
even
true.
quicksand.
That
I
shit
mean,
used to be on TV
like it-
shows back in the day a lot.
Yeah.
But like I said, like like I take everything with a grain of salt. Now, I'm not saying I'm denying global warming or I accept it or whatnot. But
the Earth.
I
is
mean,
flat.
there's been
Well, that's
certain studies that
We're talking.
refute it.
That's facts, though.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
That refute it. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe in taking care of Mother Nature and Earth. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of
I
course.
s-
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah,
doesn't mean
I
like,
agree
oh,
with that.
let's just trash this place. No, like one of my pet peeves, I was just gonna ask this question actually, is when people litter. Like deliberately just you see them and they just throw trash like in a anywhere. It's like
Dude,
really
I've seen people chuck like
So you're right
bags of
there.
like fast food trash outside their window, like just
while they're
driving.
driving. Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen that too, and that pissed me off so bad. Like I'm the type of person that'll carry trash in my pocket until I find a trash can and
Yeah.
just throw it
Drop
in
it, yeah.
because I don't want to live in that filth. And so I don't want to have people live in that either. But
Well, that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know if the mentality is like, oh, well, somebody will pick it up. It's like, well, I haven't seen anybody like that just walks around and picks
Mhm.
up trash. Like that's not a thing.
No.
You know, there's the street sweeper trucks, but
yeah.
you know, that's not the same thing.
But still, it's like you got to take responsibility.
Yeah, that's lame as fuck.
It is lame as
Oh,
fuck,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's one of my pet peeves.
So I was listening
agree.
to the story that they were saying that the fire up north was caused by somebody that was towing a trailer. At first, they said it was because there
Really?
was a chain dragging,
Mm-hmm.
but then that story changed to something even dumber. So it was an older couple that was towing a trailer, and they got a flat tire,
Mm,
and they drove with the flat tire for 17 miles.
sparks.
What?
And yeah, and like
You
the
gotta
sparks
notice
from that caused the fire.
Nah.
I like that
I'll call
Coldplay
BS
song.
on that one. Huh?
Coldplay song. There's a Coldplay song called Sparks, and the chorus says, "And I saw sparks, and that's what happened. The fire
Yeah.
just started
Well, there you go.
because of the sparks."
Yeah,
Remember, what was that movie? Donnie Darko.
yeah,
They had
Yeah.
this dance scene called Sparkle Motion.
yeah.
Spirit Fingers. Sparkle. It's a great movie. But is that fire? How much is it contained? Like the percentage?
I
It's
don't
still
know.
going
It's still not
on, or-
contained.
I don't remember.
Dude, it's huge.
I don't
It's a
remember.
huge fire, man.
It burned. Well, put it to you this way: it burned an area bigger than the state of Rhode Island.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's
Put
one
in
of the
perspective
biggest,
for sure.
biggest
Damn.
fires in
I think
recorded
it's.
history.
I think it's the biggest wildfire in recorded history
Mhm.
for
Wow.
California.
Damn.
So
Incredible.
I know.
Amazing.
because somebody
Amazing.
didn't pull over, and like and here's the thing is it's probably like if they were pulling it behind that vehicle, I don't know what kind of trailer it was.
Mhm.
I'm thinking that like you should have noticed that, like you know.
I mean,
you
I'm
can
sure
tell.
there was people maybe honking at them, like letting them like, hey, like,
It's sparks, fool.
Yeah.
not pull over. It's the cardigan. But thanks for noticing,
Yeah.
type thing, Killer boots, man. But yeah, man, and then, the holy fire is contained, isn't it? Not?
Yeah.
I think it is.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
I think it is.
Thank God, yeah.
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 Even the firefighters hose down the retardants off people's houses. Like,
The
red-
false check.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was
They would clean it up.
there was a car wash in that area that was offering free car washes for people with false check all over their car.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
With what?
False check.
What's false check?
False check is the fire retardant.
On the planes. That come
Oh, that orange or red stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the-
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. That's nice of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found out that they were actually cause somebody had posted on a friend's page because he posted a cool like video. He's like, "Oh, I heard they're flying to Sacramento to refill." I was like, "That
What?
doesn't sound right." So I was looking at pictures,
Mhm.
and I was able to find that they're actually flying into San Bernardino
Mm.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and not Sacramento. Because can you imagine that would take?
That's a
forever.
Dude,
yeah, it
that's
takes
a
like
waste
an
of
hour
fuel.
to probably get out there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
but
ways away.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could see like, cause there's a website where you can see every airplane in the air. It's called Flight Radar 24,
Yeah.
and you can see every airplane that's in the air right now. Even planes like if you find
Flight 24 is the name of the app, or
Flight Radar 24. I
Flight
think it
Radar
is.
24.
Yeah. So you can check if you find an airplane, if you notice on every airplane that's registered to the FAA,
Mhm.
there's an N number on it. It starts with
Right.
N, and then there's a
And then-
number.
yeah.
If you get that number, you can type it into Flight Radar 24, and you can see like flight history.
Mm-hmm.
So I would see that it would like land, it would refuel, get refill for a couple hours, and then head back out. It was just
Yeah.
flying. There was actually, and I found out there was actually 2 of those planes. Fine, and this was like at freaking 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I doing still up? I gotta go to sleep. Looking up fucking N numbers on Flight Radar 24 and looking up
Yeah.
flight history. It's fucking retarded.
Well, wouldn't they also get water from Lake Matthews
sorry.
too?
I don't know. I think, I mean, they wouldn't. I
Mhm.
know that there was some like helicopters and stuff that were actually getting water from Lake Elsinore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't. I remember I mentioned that. I don't know what that water is there for.
Like
don't
Matt. So I don't know either, but I'm thinking it might be maybe for like
It's like save water, isn't it?
drinking water, not drinking
No,
water,
not
but like
drinking water.
you know, water that comes out of your what is that water called?
It's
Maybe
drinking water.
Yeah.
Huh? Drinking water? Yeah, drinking water, I guess, because it's fenced off. You're not
Yeah,
allowed
you're
to.
not
You
allowed, yeah.
can't go fishing.
You
in
can't
it,
go
No.
fishing. Boating or jet
Can't dump
skiing
LSD
or-
in it.
No. Oh my gosh! Imagine that almost happened, right?
Yeah, that one
Remember
dude.
the Simpsons episode when Marge started drinking and started tripping?
Fuck.
If it's black, send it back.
Yeah.
If
that
it's
was-
brown, drink
Drink
it
it
down.
Yeah.
Speaking of airplanes, that dude airport employee that stole a plane,
Oh, that
Oh,
was-
the Sky King.
yeah.
Sky King. I listened to the audio and it's like,
The dude was having a blast.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. At the same time, he obviously needed some help. But yeah, he was having a blast. He was like, "I'm gonna try a barrel roll," and he actually did
He
it.
did it,
There's
yeah.
a video of him
He-
doing the barrel
He
roll.
pulled it off.
He pulled it
He's
off,
like,
and
"Well,
he's
we're
like,
gonna-" yeah, and then they were like, "We're gonna talk you down and land." I was like, I don't know.
He's like,
I don't think I'm gonna land.
He's like, I think pull this barrel roll
Just
and
call it a day.
Yeah, call it a day. I was like, wow.
I know,
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so
I mean, he obviously had some personal issues going on because
hats up to the Sky King, and may he and Harambe rest in power.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
that's some ballsy move to. I mean, that's the way you want to go out.
That's
I
pretty
mean,
gangster though.
That's crazy. He's
And-
like, oh yeah, I played some video games right now. It's like, wow, apparently fucking he got
Yeah.
pretty good at it.
There's a video game actually.
Well, there's
uh,
Flight Simulator. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Have you watched those videos on YouTube?
Yeah.
It's
No.
hilarious. Some of like the talk that they have, they actually take it seriously. Some people just.
And then
troll
there's a
and
guy.
have
There's a
fun.
guy in the tower fucking with people.
Yes, those are the best videos.
I
Yeah.
have not
to
seen
watch.
those. I gotta
Yeah.
check those out.
They're pretty
Uh,
funny to watch, man.
Yeah, I end up in some fucked up areas of YouTube.
Gosh, the rabbit holes you go down on YouTube, it can be pretty dangerous.
Terrible.
Speaking of rabbit holes on YouTube, I came across. I know Larry, you already heard about this movement, but the walk away movement. I've seen quite a few videos of this, and it's pretty much people making videos about the reason for walking away from the Democratic Party. It's been pretty interesting. Apparently, I guess the media's been trying to say that these videos are some Russian bot.
They're Russian bots.
They're Russian bots, and so a lot of people are starting to make these videos, and the majority of the videos, people in the videos are African American, talking about why they're walking away from this movement, and their reasoning is actually
Makes sense.
pretty good.
Well,
I mean,
like well thought out.
yeah,
like-
very well thought
yeah,
out.
like it's a lot of it you'll see it's the people that were so the overall theme is from former Democrats and
Mhm.
when they and there's actually a Facebook group. I'll probably add you just so you can see it. I've been tracking it for a while. It's pretty interesting. A lot of people, there's a lot of posts in there, of course, but apparently they're Russian. They seem.
Russian bots.
Yeah, apparently everything you disagree with is either a Nazi or a Russian bot.
Gotta blame it on Russia.
That's fucking wow, dude. But yeah, it's people, people that have become disillusioned and started looking for an alternative.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, they just don't want to accept that this is happening, so they got to find some type of scapegoat or excuse.
yeah, and the thing is when you hear dudes like. When you hear people like Ben Shapiro, like or to a lesser degree, when I say a lesser degree, I meant to a less harsh degree,
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
You know, and some of the stuff they're talking about, you're like, huh, that actually
Just
like
makes sense logically.
yeah, like if you sit down and think about it, like he'll hear you out,
Yeah.
but then he's like, well, no, like, you know, it's all. I guess more people are starting to see stuff like that, and
Yeah.
maybe starting to give their opinions a little bit more thought.
So there's a professor. I forgot what college she teaches at, but she identifies as a male. She's transgender, and her and Jordan Peterson had a conversation, and the stuff they were talking about just made total sense. And she's more, even though she says she's traditionally liberal, she obviously leans more kind of conservative side a little bit. Gosh, I gotta look up her name, but I'm gonna look up her name because
Yeah, you probably should. That sounds interesting. So, because I don't think I've seen that one.
it's a very interesting talk.
Yeah.
And they use they use facts, historical facts, you know, and they cite the sources, and it's been pretty interesting. Like I said, I try to take everything with a grain of salt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
check
but
your
I mean-
facts before anything.
Not just that, but I like to approach things with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not just that. Like that one video that you sent of the lady talking about her experience or whatever. Black lesbian.
Right.
So right off the bat, you're like, oh yeah, she's definitely a Democrat, and she said she definitely got that feeling. Like people were like, oh no, this is how you have to think.
Right.
And even this segues nicely into well, not segues, but it ties into the interview with Kanye West here recently.
I didn't see that.
I
heard
heard
about
I
it.
heard clips of it where he was pretty much like, yeah, you know, people along, if you know, they kind of tell you like how you should think, and like now they like disagree, like, oh, you know, you're gonna get the black community is gonna take an issue with that and this and that, and it's like, well, like maybe we should, you know, maybe just look into it, right? I mean, that's kind of how it started for me a long time ago, where it was like, you know, people had some decent ideas, and it was like,
Yeah.
well, where is that coming from? Like, where
Yeah.
is that? You know, where is that thinking coming from? And there's a lot of people that like, you know, and I'll go back to the video, like she was saying, it's like, you know, the thing with the Democratic Party that they've been doing, and they've kind of doubled down on it, is it's all feelings based. It's not facts based. It's not things, you know, trying to relate to people. It's just
Yeah.
trying to play on emotions.
Yeah, and feelings can betray you.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I feel, yeah. Your judgment will just be.
I mean, it happens.
You're not-
It happens to
Mhm.
people all the time, and there's misunderstandings or, you know, stuff like that, and that happens. But yeah, and it's to their benefit to keep portraying America as divided.
It's more, yeah.
And the thing is like, I mean, day to day, honestly, like if you really stop and look, America's not divided, man. Like there's, you
In the
know, people
grand-
people
yeah.
are, in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
people are still people. Like it's again online. It's a lot easier to dehumanize someone.
Oh,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
you can't put a face. You can just, you're in front of the keyboard.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not just that. There
no
was somebody,
consequence.
and there
Mhm.
I posted an article the other day of a guy that got in a Facebook argument with another guy. So the guy's a registered Democrat, gets in an argument with somebody, and goes to their home and shoots them.
Oh shit.
You know, and it's like, I admit, you know, it was kind of a joke, but not really. On my post, I put, you know, this is why they want, you know, why they want gun control, because they think it's like, oh, everybody's as mentally unstable as them. And to some extent, I think that's true. I mean, if you really look at it, like, it's easy to like, if you don't think about it, you would think that everybody has the same mentality that you do.
Yeah.
And if you're quick to anger, you think everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, there should definitely be, you know, more consideration when it comes to that, and people should be more open to having conversations with people they disagree with.
No, yeah. Instead of just shutting them down and do something. To
It's
them
not just
about
that, man.
yeah.
It's like you might learn something, man. I mean, from people, like, you know, you might look at things a little bit different way, and you might still end up at the same conclusion. But it's a nice mental
Yeah.
exercise to at least try to look at things differently. You know,
Right.
it's nice to have a different perspective every once in a while.
And it's
Yeah.
nice to have a debate where there's no emotions involved. Like, well, somewhat, but like to where your emotions are reined in to where it's like not a screaming match or like trying to make someone else look stupid. It's like, look, this is what I think, and then this is what I think
Yeah.
about what you think,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, all right, well,
Just seeing both sides.
I have
and
to.
Well, online it's easier because you can just say that they're a Russian bot, and you know, and you're just that's it. You know, like where do you come back from that? And that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, that's why the whole thing of like people getting called racist and stuff is like, you know, or Nazi,
Yeah.
or you know, it's funny. No, they never call and people wear communist as a badge of pride, which seems weird when you call somebody a Nazi, but you're calling yourself a communist. Like
Mhm.
communism killed more people, you know, than Nazism ever has. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's not taught that way. I wonder why. Who teaches? What are the political leanings of people that are in academia? Seems kind of weird if you really
Mhm.
think about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is the name? Okay, so I found the video. I'm just trying to find her name in here.
You just haven't found it.
What?
It's a great video too. I recommend everyone watching it. Gosh, I find clips. I just can't find the whole.
Yeah, and Chris was saying that people don't want to have their perspectives when their perspectives are challenged. I think that like I
Yeah.
was telling somebody yesterday, if your convictions are strong,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if they're based, you know, if your convictions are based on you know they're strong, they're within you. It doesn't matter if they're tested, man. Like I mean, it's good. In reality, it's good because it just kind of reaffirms that for you at times.
Okay.
And
you're
maybe
t- like-
certain ideas and a lot of ideas.
Found it. Sorry, before I forget. Camille Paglia.
Before you forget, but you already forgot, and you got to look it up.
Yeah.
You had it in front of you.
I did. So the video's called Modern Times. Camille Paglia, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing. Well, she identifies as a male, so I'm hoping I say his last name right, Paglia, and Jordan Peterson. So
But
I
Camille-
recommend it.
Camille's not a dude's name.
Well, you know, she's considers herself himself.
It's 2018.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
true.
A transgender male. So it was an interesting.
Damn, thing's heavy.
Sorry to cut you off, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know where I was going. But
me either.
I guess it was important. So.
My bad, dude.
Yeah.
I apologize about that. But yeah, I mean,
They were
it's-
talking about people's perspective and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
must have-
Yeah.
I ruined it, guys.
Just being challenged.
My bad.
No.
Damn it.
That is what
It is what it is. What it is. But I think we're talking about perspectives and just
Having somebody challenge you. For
Challenge
it or
you
whatever,
and
then
it's-
learn from it.
and also there's one Eric Michael Dyson, I think is his name. I forgot where he's a teacher at, but he uses a lot of big words to say nothing pretty much. If you ever look at his debates,
Well, that's the definition of what's her face,
Who?
the socialist candidate that was recently.
Ocasio.
Yeah, that's her. Listen. Anytime she talks a whole fuckload, but doesn't say anything. It's the weirdest thing ever.
that, and her
politician.
facts are off
Oh yeah,
the majority of time, and it's funny because the people that interview her
they never
don't call her out on it.
No.
And she said that the Republicans or the conservatives are cowards because they don't want to debate her. Yet she's been called out by quite a few to come on my show. I'm open to. I think Ben Shapiro invited her on his
And-
show,
yeah.
even offering to donate $20,000. Maybe that wasn't
I think it was 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
Maybe 10,000. It's probably to bring money into this probably wasn't the right move, but still, I mean, he invited her, said he was open to having a conversation and
You shouldn't want
have
to.
a talk, and she compared it to catcalling. Apparently,
Yeah.
said it was a
Mm.
cat call. I don't understand why. Like Ben Shapiro says, I mean, she could have just flat out said no. You know,
She
She
Yeah,
could have
no,
said,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm scared.
You
I need
know,
to go to church.
or it's like, you know what, you're, or not even that. Like she could even Ben Shapiro gave her a bunch of outs, like saying, like, you know what, no, you're not running for,
Yeah.
office, so
Yeah.
why should I debate you? You know, I want
Right.
to debate someone that's running an office or just something. But to say that it's catcalling, it's like, well,
That kind of.
that's quite the stretch, in my opinion. I don't know about what other people may think.
I can
know.
I can see the SJW reasoning there, but I mean, again, using terms that are the hot button issues and emotional instead of
Mhm.
just saying, you know what, no, I'm not interested. Like that's all you needed to say, or don't say anything.
Yeah,
Fuck it, just don't say anything.
just ignore him. I mean, but
That's also that you could also do that. That's always an option. Just don't
of
say
course,
anything.
it's a right. I mean, and it's a right to call it catcalling too, but it's just doesn't make sense,
No.
in my opinion, to just turn that down.
Yeah.
You know.
And the unemployment rate is down because everybody has 2 jobs.
Yeah, you know, I heard that too. I heard that argument too.
Well, if you live in
while
California, hell yeah. You need
Obama
jobs.
was in office or something.
I don't think that's how they count that.
No, it isn't. But I've heard that argument too.
200% employed, or
Right. But like people were talking smack about Obama and saying discrediting the unemployment rate going down during his term. There were
Yeah.
also people on the conservative side were also using that same argument towards that. So
well,
For
the
me, it's
opposition
like,
the
I don't
opposition I heard to that was that there was a lot of people that had been unemployed for so long that they were no
Mhm.
longer looking for work, and that actually was.
can
I
believe that.
want to say that actually was ended up being true.
mhm.
There's a lot of people that retired early or whatever because they couldn't find work. So
Yeah, I mean,
people
But-
lost their homes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I mean,
which is tragic.
I
I mean, but
know.
now there's more job opportunities from what I'm understanding.
employers are having a hard time filling a lot of positions
Mhm.
because people are it's if you're in the market for a job, I think right now is a good time
Yeah.
for that. They're saying that people are employed,
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
but
Yeah.
the wages haven't gone up, I think. So
No, they just stay the same, especially California. Everything goes up every year. And then that tariff that's coming up for like the metal and stuff like that, it's gonna make everything else a little bit more expensive. Cars,
Yeah.
metal and stuff like that.
yeah, that seems kind of dumb if you really think about it. Like there's a lot of things that would affect.
Mm-hmm.
I see almost the reasoning for it, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you think about it from the perspective of people aren't just going to open factories
No.
to
yeah.
employ people because of the tariffs. I don't
Yeah,
think
it
that's
makes it worse.
I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because now, like, where I work, like now everybody's like, "Why is it so expensive?" I was like, "Well, tariff went up, and we had 2 price increases this year."
Yeah.
One in
Well,
March and
especially
one
on
now.
that, because that's the thing is like the stuff that the raw materials are more expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes the whole product overall more expensive. It has to. There's no way that it can't.
Yeah.
So it is. I mean, I almost thought it was going to be kind of just like a negotiating tactic, and I didn't think that it was actually going to go through. But I guess I should have really looked at who was rallying for him,
Yeah, they had.
and it's one of those things that like I don't know. I don't think it's gonna have the desired effect. I don't think it's having the desired effect.
no,
But we'll
everybody's
see.
Already pushing.
So
back.
I had full disclosure. I had to go use the restroom.
Uh-huh.
Where are we at now?
We're talking about the tariff
The tariffs for
Yeah.
for
For stuff.
stuff. Oh, stuff. The
Yeah.
tariffs on stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, yeah, I missed that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, before I left, you were talking about wages not going up, right?
And stuff
Yeah,
getting
we're
more
talking about that,
expensive.
Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, there's the inflation, and yeah, that's one of the
Especially
big
here
issues
in
too.
California.
Yeah.
everything.
Speaking
Taxes
of California, yeah, taxes. I read that they're gonna propose another tax to clean or purify the water in California.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, time and time again, we get all these taxes to improve our, livelihood and stuff like that, and yet I don't see any improvement.
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you guys off.
No, you're good.
You know what I think will happen in 10 years from now? Oh, no, 20 years from now.
Huh.
I'll give that much. They're going to have factories that cleans air, and then they're going to be a tax on that.
like giant
filters or something.
filters.
Like that. It just filters the air. And
I mean,
I don't know.
that's what
It
trees
was
are
just all
for.
bullshit, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
that's how crazy it's getting.
Yeah.
That's what trees are for, you know. But also, I mean,
Yeah.
if you plant too many trees, that could also be an issue.
Yeah.
That too. I mean,
It's okay.
it's a matter
so-
of balance.
So on, you know, you're saying that people's lives don't improve because of the taxes. That's not necessarily true.
Mm-hmm.
There was recently a guy in, I want to say he was in L.A., but I don't know if he was like the police chief or for the department or for the sheriffs. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
they have a program where, so this is what he did. He retired and then came back to either the same or a different position but in the same department. And when he retired and then decided he was going to come back, he got a payoff of $1.3 million
Whoa.
For what?
for this program that they have in terms of like their retirement or whatever. So so yeah, that's where people's lives are improving, because
Oh yeah.
our
Yeah.
tax money is going to pay for programs like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important for politicians and people that work in government, for them to
Oh,
be
yeah,
rich.
Yeah.
You know, I
Right.
mean, think about it. If you were in your 50s
Mhm.
and you decided I'm going to retire, and then you start working again,
Mm-hmm.
why shouldn't you get $1.3 million?
I can think of a few reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't save in the first place, which is what you're supposed to do, is save a certain percentage of your income.
So you have that.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, but see, okay, so let me stop you right there. But see,
Mhm.
this is where everybody else is kind of fucked, because we don't have government money to pour into our retirement.
why would we
Yeah.
need government money?
Well, that's
My argument is, I've sat down with multiple families, and you know, I set up a financial game plan for them. Most of the expenses, most of the priorities on families' minds, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's how we're programmed. Yes, programmed through TV, through social media, is
Mhm.
buy, keep up with the Joneses, have the latest this, have the latest that. Priorities are effed up.
Well, yeah, but when you can retire and then come back to the same job, I mean, you don't have to have priorities.
No,
But that's an issue though.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm getting at
Hmm.
is
I'm probably
is
totally missing the point here.
you are totally missing the point. I was 100% not being fucking serious. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm terrible at
Yeah.
missing the
detecting
point.
sarcasm.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, that's the thing is that's why you don't see private industries like giving people pensions anymore. Like that
No.
hasn't been a thing in forever,
No.
because it ends up being super fucking expensive. And the
Mhm.
problem is
Mm-hmm.
is that California, the state of California, has okay. So here's the funny thing is, they said recently that they have a surplus that they put away into what they call the rainy day fund.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Meanwhile, they have unfunded retirement or pension liabilities, which means that like they're paying all these people
Mhm.
and they have promised all this money, but
They can't.
that
They
money's
can't,
not
yeah.
there.
Like with CalPERS and
Right.
CalSTRS.
Right.
And the problem, also part of that problem is people are living longer, which they didn't account for
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Right. People are living longer, so the amount of retirees compared to the amount of people in the actual workforce isn't enough to cover the retirees that are receiving these pensions.
Yeah.
That's also part of the problem.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I mean that's that. So,
Exactly. Chris just brought that up, actually.
Yeah.
Everyone on pension lives longer than they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the
They're
original
comfortable.
like Social Security when that was founded. Like people weren't living a whole lot longer past 65,
Mm,
62,
Mhm.
63. You know?
That's probably why they put the age limit there.
And even then, Social Security was meant as a supplemental income, not your retirement.
Not like that's it. That's what you're.
Yeah, no. Which is, like I said, we're programmed to spend. We're not. I mean, I'm telling you, I talk to these families and I talk to them about saving their money, and they look at me like I have a third eye. Like, why are you trying to take away my money? It's like, no, I'm not trying to take away your money. I'm trying to get you to save your money, take advantage of the interest rates as far as in your savings in mutual
Mhm.
funds. Take advantage of that.
Yeah, not a savings account. Those don't
No.
pay. Those don't pay
They
dick.
pay dick.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, the bank accounts, you'll be lucky if you get a 1%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky,
sure.
and even then, if you want a 1% or 1.5% in a CD, you need to have a certain amount of money saved up, 50,000
for
to
a
100
d-
grand or
yeah.
something.
Not just that, but then it's also tied up. Like in a CD, it's tied up for a set amount of time. Like you can't touch it.
Well, that makes sense if it's for retirement.
Well, but see, that's short term though, because those CDs end up being for like maybe like two
2
years,
years,
3
5
years.
years at
Yeah.
max.
Yeah, 1% after 5 years. You deposit 100
Dude.
grand. You deposit 100 grand and you
Damn.
let it sit there for.
It's
it,
not.
it
it's
doesn't
gonna
even
make
beat
dick.
inflation.
It's
No.
not because
Mm-mm.
inflation on average is about 3%.
Yeah.
It's 3%.
Yeah.
So,
So, your CD
yes.
isn't doing shit.
And people talk about how it's safer at the bank. It's like, really, inflation's at 3%. You don't even get 1%. You're losing money saving your money in the bank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what. So that's why Social Security retirement age keeps getting pushed back. Yes.
Yeah, it will. Eventually, it'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, once you're 1,000 years old, then you can gather.
Yeah.
Do you
and
get your retirement?
one of the
Or-
biggest scams that Wall Street has come up with is, and not just that, but the media is scaring people during the the downturns in the economy. Okay, they talk
because they
gloom
want
and
to
doom.
buy or whatever.
Well, no, the problem is they're looking at it from the short-term investment standpoint. When you're
Exactly.
talking about people that have securities that are meant to not be drawn for 60 or not 60,
Right.
but like 30 or 40 years.
Mhm.
So there's gonna be some losses, but overall,
yeah.
the trend when you zoom out, that graph is going up.
Dollar cost averaging, and that's exactly what it is. During the downturns in the economy, what people do is they will panic. They're like, I'm losing money. I'm gonna take my money out, and it's the people that don't have enough money for money managers to tell them, like, look, this is what's going on, blah blah
Oh,
blah
yeah,
blah blah,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they'll pull out their money. They're panicking. So once you pull out your money, you solidify that loss.
Yeah,
If you
that's
had-
when you lost.
Yeah.
You don't lose
Yeah.
until you sell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So had these people kept their money in their accounts, in their Roth IRAs, in whatever mutual funds they have, the market is going to go back up. The name of the game is having stocks, the amount of stocks you have in your portfolio.
And having it diversified.
Having diversified. Don't have your all your eggs in one basket, because what happens, that company goes underground, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you have your money,
some of those,
yeah. If you have your money diversified, I mean, it's gonna average out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's a big thing is then okay, so let's say that you that you pull out this money and somehow you don't spend it, right? So if you're pulling it out from a retirement account, not only have you lost the money, that not only that, but then depending on what it is, you get
Mhm.
penalized.
401ks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and you have to pay taxes on it. So then you
Mhm.
really lose money.
Even IRAs or Roth IRAs. Yeah, you lose a ton of money.
And then not just that, what do you do? Okay, so let's suppose that like
Mhm.
you hang on to that money, you stuff it in your mattress,
Mhm.
and you hang on to it. At what point do you start buying? Oh, obviously when it's more expensive, when you see that it's going up. Now you've really lost
Yeah.
money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So during the downturn is when you want to buy, because that's when stocks are on sale. It is the Black Friday of stocks. Okay, we're taught, people run to Black Friday sales when it's in the stores, but when it's in the stock market, they run away. That's the only sale
Well,
that
I
people
think
run
'cause a
away
lot of
from.
people are not used to it.
They're
They're not
not-
informed.
They're not informed.
They don't know how to
Exactly.
work.
And they just pay
you know?
attention to the news. The news is talking
Yeah.
doom and gloom. There's another crisis coming up. It's like, bring it on.
Nasdaq's going down.
Yeah.
Bring it on. If you look historically, the market goes down and then it corrects itself.
It always does.
Yeah, it's been going up historically. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's overall zoom out on it a lot, and you'll
Mhm.
see that the trend is upwards.
The
Oh,
GDP
yeah,
has
I know,
gone
yeah.
up. I mean, it's the highest it's been since the beginning. So, and that's the shitty part about the media that I do not like, is sensationalism, trying to get sales as far as people watching them, and just, man, it's frustrating.
Bubble pop.
But someone's got to go out there and inform these families. Whether they take that information I give them and uses it or not, that's on them.
Well,
Yeah.
you're just an educator, so
Yeah,
they take it with a
exactly.
grain of salt.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is yeah. I mean at a certain point, like that's the thing is at least the housing values too. That's another thing that like a lot of people
That's a good
as we go.
indication of how the market's going, though. If you really put your ear to it a little bit.
It helps, but it's not entirely it. I mean, the thing is I guess what I was gonna say is historically people have been able to use kind of their houses as the retirement account, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was people that are retiring now that
I
bought
can see
their house in the '60s, and you know they paid very little money for it, and now it's worth, you know, they're in certain areas it's worth many millions of dollars. But it's timing that, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
if you
once
would
again.
fuck, if I was in a house and I was pretty close to retiring and the house was paid off and it was worth a few $1 million, I'd probably do that
I
now.
know. Like, I think
You know?
I talked to my dad before, because he'll bring out old stuff. He's like, man, he's like, when I was younger, he's like, when you guys were here and we were getting our house, because
Yeah.
they got the house, I think it was like $80,000 here in Rubidoux. And then he's like, man, I wish I would have bought some. I had an opportunity to buy
Yeah.
land.
Yeah.
I should have, but I didn't want to take the risk.
And yeah.
You see, and like he was saying, you know, you don't know how much is going to amount now, because now from 1990 to now, look how much it went up.
Oh yeah, I mean
You know what I mean?
that and there's a saying, you know, the greater the risk, the greater the reward.
Yeah, it's true.
Fear can, man, that can stop you from doing so much.
That's very
I
powerful.
struggle with this myself, you know, being afraid of, well, what if I fail? What if I don't fail?
Yeah.
But
You
that's
know,
how.
and it's
Well, that's a cultural thing too, though.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
especially with Hispanics, like
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's like you're
Yeah.
gonna fail. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
especially if they
No
see,
seas pendejo.
if they
No,
see, not just that, but
No, you know what I
if they
mean.
see you doing well, what's the first thing they think? Ah, se cree muy. In other words, oh, you think you're the shit now.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
dude, why are
yeah.
you trying to bring me down? Like, just
Yeah.
because you didn't go for what you want. It's like, I'm doing this for
Us.
us. It's like, you know, why are you trying to bring me down? It's like,
That's true.
and
Oh, yeah.
it's a lot of the times, I think I talked about this prior, and it's something that's always on my heart. Yeah, I mean, Hispanics have been mistreated and still are, and then many cultures have. But you know, I see a lot of these people that are, you know, pro, like, you know, Chicano culture and stuff like that, and all I hear is bitching, but I hear no solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
quite honestly, if we really look back on it, I mean, we've never had it better in terms of, you know, cultural relations and stuff like that. And yeah, there's some shit that goes on, but man, it's been worse.
It
you know?
has.
Yeah.
It's been worse.
It has been worse.
And I think the problem is that, you know, it's easy. It's more, it makes for more clicks and more views and more.
It's all about the likes, man.
It's to focus on negative shit.
Yeah.
And like you were talking about earlier about programming, like my son, he'll come to me. He's like, "Yeah, dude." And he's like, "Yeah, Dad, I want to make a YouTube channel." And I told him, "Okay, why?"
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Give me a good reason, and I'll think about it." And
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I just want to get likes. I want to get 1,000,000 subscribers."
Oh.
I was like, "That's not what it's about, son."
That's the thing now, dude.
But that's not what it's about.
Likes.
It's about the content.
But
It's
that-
not, you know what I mean? I don't know.
It's the content, but I mean that's a problem because if you don't have enough likes, oh, you're gonna be depressed. You're like, I'm nobody.
Yeah.
And dude, out there, it's rough out there.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Well, that's it,
Yeah.
dude. Along the thing is maybe it's a good thing. He quite doesn't understand the internet
Mhm.
and how fucking brutal it can be.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Because it could
Yeah.
chew you and spit you out. And
We have to
you-
shield our children, man, because it's pretty crazy out there.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the shit like, yeah, you know, my daughter watches YouTube Kids, but I really
Mhm.
like sit back and look at it. I'm like, these motherfuckers, they're making videos of their kids playing with toys, like,
and I'm wrapping them.
yeah,
And playing with them.
no, like, dude. I know you fucking seen shit like this, but like the Shopkins, like the little surprise bag.
Oh
things,
yeah, those things. Fucking.
those things are such a fucking ripoff.
Do your-
Hell yeah.
do your guys'
little fucking box and you
Look,
know,
dude.
it's-
Okay, so let me explain the concept to you because you don't
Uh-huh.
have kids, so you probably don't know about it.
I have nieces and nephews.
Oh, that's true. You might have seen them.
I probably
so,
have.
So there's like these little surprise bags that they call them, and what we used to call them was the little fucking machines that you would put a quarter in and a little egg.
Where the
would
little
come out.
homies.
But you know what
You
though?
remember?
Remember the ice cream man? You come by and you can buy a mystery bag too there. So it would have like those those fake cigarette gums. You used to
Yeah.
have like
It was
tops.
like in a paper. It came out like almost like in a bag that looked like a popcorn bag.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So it's kind of like that concept.
no,
Oh, okay.
it's one single little plastic toy in there,
Mm-hmm.
like $5 a piece.
Yeah.
Like
at
the
least.
Kinder eggs. Remember the Kinder eggs?
Those are illegal. I don't know what those are.
They're illegal now.
They've been illegal for a long time.
Shut up.
I shit you not.
People were choking. Kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, choking hazard.
Yeah.
I've smuggled a few back.
I didn't know
I
that.
mean, I don't know if I should be saying that. I think I'm gonna get in trouble. You know?
Probably.
I mean,
Probably.
imagine that. That's the thing I get in trouble for smuggling back fucking
That
Kinder
would be
eggs.
crazy.
Can you imagine
He's
that?
all texting. Like, guess what?
Yeah.
Hey guys, come bail me out.
Fuck.
Bring that whiskey talk money.
Yeah.
Which is sorry, bro. You're gonna stay in there for a while.
Yeah. No shit.
For now.
Yeah.
Oh man, but
I'll bring you some bottles.
Empty ones though.
some
Yeah.
balloons. You want some balloons with some black tar heroin in there?
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
I'll poop them out for you, bro.
Yeah, but that's they've been illegal.
American Nissan.
But yeah, that's a fucking hustle that those videos have made like really popular.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
like the toy itself is maybe 1 or 2 pennies
Mhm.
like to make it.
Well, right now
Oh,
what's
yeah.
going up is that Fortnite thing. It's like crazy.
Well, that's
I think we talked about that last time about how
Yeah,
kids
a
are
couple
getting
weeks ago.
coaches.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
Well, it's not just that, but their money. So it's a free to play game, but the money comes from buying
the
skins.
accessories. Yeah.
They figured it out, man.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
add-ons, right?
Yeah.
You know, like when you go to a
was-
restaurant, oh, would you like to add, do this to your...
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
All I want is what I asked for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did your guys' kids watch Ryan's toy review?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen
Sophia.
So my niece loves watching that kid.
And
Ryan's
if you
toy
really
review.
think about it, dude,
Yeah.
like think about how like they have to do all the editing and stuff, and
Mhm.
it's kind of creepy. If you really think about what they're doing.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
But from
Like,
the,
in what
they're-
way? In what way?
I mean,
Let's get into specifics.
I don't know, like the kid. So I don't. Do you think the kid enjoys doing that, or do you think it's
They
like
forced it on them, kind of thing. Or?
I think so, man.
Maybe.
And of course
Huh.
the parents. I mean, I doubt the parents work, dude. The kid's making a few $1 million.
Open the
fucking-
box. No.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it might be like some Hollywood type thing.
Not just that, dude.
Yeah.
But think about like maybe in like 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that kid gonna be?
Well, I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know if I brought this up last podcast, but I watched Macaulay Culkin on the Joe Rogan podcast.
I listened
Oh,
to
yeah,
part
we
of
did.
it. I couldn't stand it.
I couldn't do. I felt the same way. I could not finish it.
Why?
It just felt like he was trying so
He
hard
tries way too hard. Like it's really
to
he's
seem
really
like he's
awkward,
okay.
but he's like super awkward.
And I don't want to be a dick, but like, yeah, okay. Like it seemed like he tried too hard to seem normal,
Yeah.
but it's like,
That he
bro,
didn't
like
have-
you did not live a normal child's life.
And he tried to play it off a few times,
Yeah.
but it's like, dude, like, you literally don't do anything. Like from stuff that you did, like when you were a kid,
Mm-hmm.
like he even said
He has a great life.
he doesn't do anything.
He
No,
he
yeah.
literally could pick up. He moved to France. I mean, he went to France, visited. He's like, you should move here.
And
he's
he's
like, you know what?
Okay,
Yeah,
why
I'll
not?
do that
Yeah.
next week. And they were like, really? And that's what he did. And you know what? Kudos to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Kudos to
built
him.
that to go do that or whatever he wants to do.
But it's rough, man. I mean, there's just that kind of lifestyle in Hollywood. I mean, and there's one thing I want to talk about at the same time I don't want to talk about, as far as like kids in Hollywood and also like the whole thing going on with the Catholic Church right now.
Yeah, I heard about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You know, 300 plus priests and also part is bishops, 1,000 plus men, women, children that have, hey, what's up, Junebug?
I actually found out that there's an organization,
Mhm.
organization of people who are the children of priests.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's me as a practicing Catholic. It pisses me off, and it breaks my heart. But man, it's like it's
This podcast was brought to you by Junebug.
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, this dude's like, come on, dude. There's an open seat right here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step onto the mic.
I hate those fucking things because they just like
They hit your car or
they don't know how to fly.
Or they'll just hit your
They're, like-
face.
yeah. They're so awkward.
I gotta be. My parents all, ooh, we used to put them in the string.
I used to do
I
that too. I used to do that too. Bring me a string.
I used to hate though when they used to fly into your towards your face. And you're like, oh shit.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean it's terrible, but I'm glad it's coming out into light.
The unfortunate thing is that some of the incidents, well, most of the incidents are so old that they're not even prosecutable
Right.
anymore.
This was
Yeah,
prior 2002 that these incidents have happened.
It's past statute of limitations.
Yes,
Oh,
and
statute.
and that's crappy, dude. Because not only is there's multiple victims here,
Yeah.
multiple, not just the people that when they were children or seminarians, because there were even seminarian victims, people
Really?
that were in the seminary that were victims to this.
Wow.
And yeah, it's past the statute of limitations, unfortunately, and some of these people are already gone and dead. These people that committed these atrocious, it's inexcusable.
I heard that they were trying to bring out where they can't be a statute of limitations now.
They're trying to, but
Yeah, I heard that.
I hope they do it across the board, not just for church cases, but also school cases. With coaches, with teachers, in sports, just in anything. I mean, it's like I said, it's inexcusable. There's no reason.
I know. We
Super
seem all
distracting.
Is it?
Yeah. No, but I get what you're saying, man. And
Yeah.
the thing is, like, what really gets me too
Mm-hmm.
is if you really start to think about it, like, yeah, okay, like the Catholic Church or whatever, is very influential. There's a lot of money involved.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that have committed their entire lives to it.
Mm-hmm.
What does that also sound like?
Everything. I mean, even the United States, it sounds like.
Sounds
I mean,
a lot
United States is full of, am I going to leave the Catholic Church because of it? No, for the same reason because, David's people didn't leave him because he was let's face it, he was a murderous, adulterous king during the time. For the same reason that the apostles didn't leave him. I mean, because, Judas betrayed Jesus. Was it Paul that denied him 3 times or whatnot?
Mm-hmm.
For the same reason that they're still patriots, regardless of the United States history as far as like slavery, raping and pillaging, and killing multiple cultures and stuff like that. I mean, but we're still proud Americans, right?
I just think
but it's inexcusable.
it really is, and I think it's interesting how, of course, like, and there's a government within the Catholic Church that will probably remain pretty silent on this whole matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll continue to comment on like, social stuff. It's like, dude,
Well-
like fix your own house first, right? Like make sure, like, I think, and for an organization so
yeah.
old, I don't think they will. I think if it was something newer, I don't think they'll publicly come out and be like, look, okay, like, just really fucked up. Like, we're going to change
Yeah.
things.
So there has been a lot more measures. Like I said, these were incidents that happened prior to 2002 and before. It has, because I've kept up with this. I mean, like I said before, lately I've been very into my Catholic faith and researching and looking things up. It has changed a lot. There's no tolerance now. That's not to say that there isn't, that's going to prevent every situation, because it's a human condition. People are people.
But I think really what
talking about. Oh, sorry.
I think really what it should prevent is what really allowed it to continue on for as long as it did.
The cover-ups.
And the problem is that, like, once you, I mean, it's like life, right? Once you lie once, like, it's
Yeah.
hard to keep them all straight, and the lie gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
And once you have so many people that are implicated, like, at a certain point,
Yeah.
that lie has to implode.
Right. And so I'm glad this is coming out. I'm happy this is coming out.
Yeah.
Because
It's like a bit, yeah.
it's either it's gonna come out little by little over the years, or dude, just you bite the fucking bullet and just look. This is what's going on, and this is just Pennsylvania. Imagine other dioceses around the country.
Around the
Oh, they're
world.
probably all.
There's probably more,
Yeah.
right? There's more.
Oh yeah.
That's the really sad part about it.
I wanted to tell you. I don't know if it was this week or last week, but I was listening to the radio and they were talking about, like, how child molesters and stuff. They're calling it. They're gonna start calling it a disease.
Oh, the
Being a
pedophilia.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
trying.
They're
There's a
trying. Yeah.
normalize it.
I don't.
There's a
Yeah.
movement going on. I'm not gonna say that it's just the ultra, lefties or whatever that are trying to normalize it, because it's a small percentage of people that are trying to normalize it, saying it's a disease, it's
Yeah.
a mental
Yeah.
issue. I mean, we can apply that even to, I mean, there's talks about, I was listening to a priest talk about this, and, you know, he was very apologetic about it or whatnot, but he was saying, so there's talks about, is this an issue? So we ban priest with homophobic intent, you know, not intentions, but
Tendencies?
tendencies. Thank you. It's like it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of honesty
Well, that's the start.
and
to
integrity.
Well, okay, so that's the start to it. Is to
Mhm.
say like, okay, we're gonna ban this
Right.
specific thing.
But it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Well,
Because
no, let me finish.
okay,
So, if we look at this like one thing that you can say, especially these days, everybody's a racist, everybody's a Nazi,
right.
Right.
Especially
and just
if you
because
disagree
just
with their
because
views.
and just because you disagree, and another thing I was listening to, the same guy, the from the bakery in Colorado that didn't want to bake the gay wedding cake
Mhm.
Yeah.
is now getting sued again because he didn't want to bake a cake for somebody's transgender transition, right? So at what point does it like? At what point does it stop? Like, at what point do we realize, you know what, like,
You can't just make
Like,
money. Yeah.
this dude does not want to do this for me. Like, why would I force him to take my money, to take my
Right.
business?
Why would I want to give him my business?
Yeah.
The thing
Because-
with the beauty with the capitalism is like,
There's
if it-
choices.
yeah, there's choices. You don't give them their business, they're gonna run out of people, you know, and their
Yeah,
business will
they'll
go
go
down.
tomorrow.
But
Yeah.
see, that's the thing is, I don't think, and I could be wrong about this, but I don't think I am. I don't think that they actually wanted the cake. I think they wanted the no
It's the
more than they
principle.
wanted the cake.
It's the principle.
Yeah.
No, they wanted the no.
Yeah.
They wanted the no so they can go on and sue and
And-
make a big deal about
Well,
it.
I
So
agree.
yeah, that's what I think
Yeah,
it
I
is.
agree that.
Because you know
Yeah.
this man's convictions.
Mm-hmm.
You know that he's going to put some importance or some criteria on his work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to somebody and say, okay, I want you to paint my car, but you go to the shop that's we don't paint cars blue, but you're like, but why? You have to paint my car blue.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't have to.
That's our
Like,
choice.
go to the next door where they say all our cars are painted blue.
Uh-huh. I mean, there's businesses that are like no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Yeah. And they do it on purpose because I think how the first couple wanted that cake and they didn't get it. So they're probably like, oh, let's try and see if they'll do
Yeah.
one for transgender, just to get them into a lie where they could sue
Mhm.
them more. I think it's more like trying to overpower the situation of.
Yeah. Well, this society is very sue crazy, which is important to
yeah.
have an attorney like Brian A. Mason
Mhm.
at Gavel Law Firm.
Yeah.
Good
Uh,
plug.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's important to know your rights and also have someone that will have your back. I mean, and help you out in those areas. It's just it. I mean, people just want to sue for anything.
Oh yeah, no.
Because it's
Anything.
because I mean it has the potential to be a payday. You know, it's like a fucking lottery ticket.
Mhm.
And the thing is, it's like really like, what are you accomplishing?
Yeah.
Really?
You know what's an example that's always used, that's always misunderstood is
I know exactly what you're gonna
the
say.
McDonald's.
Yeah, the McDonald's
the
coffee.
coffee. That poor lady, dude, like people talk shit on that lady, but dude, her burns were just. all-
After seeing pictures of that,
Uh-huh.
like how severely she was burned and how
Oh
like
my
it was
gosh.
That's hot.
like it was a real crazy injury. Like
Mhm.
it wasn't something like, oh, I just like touched the comal and my hand turned red. Like no.
this was
Oh,
bad.
just like seared and.
I mean,
all,
this
like-
this poor lady was in financial ruin. It didn't matter how much money she made on the lawsuit. All of that went to medical bills.
Here's the thing though. Not
and
even
suffering.
not even that.
Hmm.
There was also punitive damages. So what that means is like a fine. That money didn't go to her.
No.
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 A portion of it did.
Yeah.
But the bigger amount was punitive damages because they had already been told, hey, you guys are making this shit too hot. Like you need to stop. And they didn't. And that's where that amount of money comes from, where people are like, oh, it's a ridiculous amount. It's a ridiculous amount of money
Yeah.
until you start looking into it.
Yeah, and
Where
and,
it goes.
and it sucks because this lady, God rest her soul, she has since passed. She had to deal with a lot of stuff, man. Like,
Yeah.
people just talking shit on her, saying, "Oh, you just did this just to get money." It's like, no. I mean, look at the fact. That's why I say, I mean, don't believe what the media says. don't believe what certain studies say. Take everything with a grain of salt. Take everything with a small amount of skepticism.
Right. And the thing is, it's like, I mean, I don't know, but for me, like, I like learning the details and stuff like
Yes.
that. And maybe not necessarily like 100% like, oh, she was covered, she was burned on this certain percentage of her body. No, I don't give a shit about that. But,
Mhm.
like, at least get a clearer picture of, like, what happened here.
Yeah,
And, yeah, I remember seeing those pictures, and it was pretty brutal, man.
It
She
was-
really got fucked up.
it's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
It really is,
Yeah, it's crazy.
man. Another. Do you guys hear about the New Mexico? The terror suspects in New Mexico. They had like some compound or something.
Yeah,
where
they were
had-
training kids to do school shootings, and then they tore it
What?
down.
Yeah, there was like 11. I don't
So
know how to
check
pronounce
this. So
name.
check. Oh,
Emaciated.
emaciated.
Emaciated?
So let's stop there and let's go backwards.
Okay.
So there's a couple of people that had a piece of property.
Mhm.
Somebody was living on their property.
Pretty much squatting.
Yeah, it was just like, it looked like it was just made of like giant piles of trash.
Right.
And they were like, hey, like, dude, you gotta go. And he didn't want to go, so they contacted the authorities. The authorities went in and found 11 kids that were all like malnourished.
Living
Uh,
underground.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
like they had escape tunnels that went into like the next property. They were,
I'm surprised I didn't hear that.
Crudely drawn target practice, whatever they're called. I
Yeah,
can't even
just
think right now.
targets.
Just
Yeah.
targets. Crudely drawn targets to practice shooting at. So what they're saying is that they were training these kids to do a bunch of school shootings. Now, what's crazy is these people were allowed to get out of jail on bail.
So one part we're missing as well
Okay.
is that there was a child missing
Mm-hmm.
from this whole story. And that they were like, he was the main suspect. One of the guys was the main suspect in that child missing. And they found that child's remains.
Oh wow, I did not hear about that. I
Yeah,
didn't read
that's one
about
detail.
That.
That's one detail
Oh.
that's kind of an
Wow.
important one.
Mm.
And somehow, not only does this guy get out on bail, but their encampment was destroyed very recently.
Which
like,
is odd because that's evidence.
it's
and
a
why
crime
was-
scene.
Why was it? See, these are some of the things. This is why I'm skeptical because why destroy that? Like, why was it not investigated more thoroughly? Like,
Even if okay, so let's say that even if they investigated, they have whatever
Mhm.
evidence they think they need, right?
mhm.
This guy's still undergoing trial. Like, there's no way. Like, what if somebody asks him, like, "Hey, do you know if they had like, it could be anything, and if you didn't take a picture or a video of that particular thing, well, now it's gone. You can't
Right.
go back and answer that question.
Yeah.
It seems really weird, and no, it's not weird that you haven't heard about this, because
Yeah.
it's gotten very little coverage.
There's
Yeah,
more.
I have
It happens to be that this take this for whatever it's worth,
Uh-huh.
but it happens to be that the guy's name is rather Muslim sounding.
Mm-hmm. Not just that, but there's a whole bigger scandal going on with Omarosa.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's what's in the
recording
news right now.
phone calls.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important.
What does that say about her character that she has to record
Yeah,
conversations?
that's what we need to be
Trying
talking
protect
about.
something, yeah.
That's what we need to be talking about.
Right. Forget
Not-
about these kids that were just.
Not about these 11 kids and 2 women and what I think it was 2 or 3 women and 2
Mhm.
guys there.
Mhm.
That's not important.
No, of course
No.
not.
No. That but see the funny thing is like that's the accusation that they were training them to carry out school shootings.
Mm-hmm.
But school shootings are such a big deal. We were willing to ban guns and take rights away from people and this and that, like to prevent there's not one more child. And these people they're out on bail.
Yeah.
That easy.
So
But you know what? Laws do so much good. They prevent so much stuff.
yeah,
Not.
yeah,
I mean, they're guidelines at best.
yeah, and it'll keep law-abiding citizens from breaking those laws. But,
Right.
But
There's,
everybody else is excluded.
And yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty strange, man. That whole situation is, and maybe I kind of didn't want to look too much into that one just because there's a whole lot going on in there,
Mhm.
and I don't think that it would end in a positive place where
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I think I understand it. Like, I don't think this is meant to be understood, especially with them destroying that camp. Like, what? Like, what is the
Trying to hide
explanation
something,
for that?
Why? Yeah.
What is the explanation? for that?
Why?
Why? It's gonna be swept under the rug.
Yeah, and think about it. They're still talking about the up until recently. They were still talking about the kids that were found in that home.
In New York?
No, it was around here in fuck. I don't know. It was in the it was
I
like
don't know if
the
I've heard about this.
no, you did. I'm not remembering what the name. It was two parents and they had a bunch of kids and the kids were like, they only kept them in the house. They never got out. They were homeschooled.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, up until
See, I haven't
recently,
heard
they
about
was up until recently they were still talking about him, and that story happened quite a while back. So, I don't think we'll be hearing about this very much more about these 11 children and how they made out and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm convinced that there's a witch hunt going out there right now, because that seems like, okay, so like news like this, I feel is more important than some gossip shit, right?
Okay, so let's look at this objectively, right?
Mhm.
We have a story of some weird shit going on with a guy in the desert, 11 kids, lots of questions. The other thing we have going on is somebody that claims that there may be a tape of somebody that said something.
Yet it hasn't come out yet. Also, let's talk about Omarosa's character.
There was
Curious-
another phone. Yeah, there was another phone call that was released today, of somebody telling her that they were gonna pay her off for her silence or whatever. I don't know the exact details, but there was another call that came out.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So it's like, think about it. Like, every time this person talks to somebody, like, she has to record it. That seems
kinda
really weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That seems really weird.
So Pierce Morgan, who honestly I can't stand the dude. He talked about how when he was on The Apprentice and Omarosa was on The Apprentice, Omarosa had suggested sleeping together and then sell whatever to make millions. It's like, and then
Wait, her and Pierce Morgan?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And so
who the fuck's gonna pay to see that?
I don't know, but that's
I mean,
what-
I have morbid curiosity, but I'm not paying to see that.
no.
Fuck. Man.
So
Whoa.
So what Pierce Morgan says is like, "Are you crazy? Why would you want to do this? No, like no." And then like she asked him, was like, "What are you, gay?"
Yes.
Sí,
Yeah.
sí in español.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, "What are you, gay? You don't want to do this?" He's like, "No, it's just like
bitch,
dude,
you're not Kim Kardashian. Nobody gives a fuck about you." In fact, I mean, and that's the funny thing is that, I mean, even in the Today Show,
yeah,
like, which isn't exactly fair and balanced, but they were still asking her those same questions. Like, look, like, you're recording these phone calls. Like, what does this say about you? And she was like, she was a complete twat to the interviewer. Like, dude, they're trying to help
Wait,
you.
on The View
No,
or where? I'm sorry,
Today Show.
Today
Today
Show.
Show.
Okay.
Yeah. Really just being completely a shit, like, really short, just terrible to the interviewer. It's like, dude, like, they're trying to help you sell your shitty book where you really don't
Yeah.
have any of this information.
Mm.
They were like, one of the questions was like, oh, how did you record? It's supposed to be a really secure area. Something everybody's wondering, right? She
The
was like-
Situation Room.
She was like, well, I'll leave that to your imagination. What kind of fucking answer is that? If you're going to leave it to my imagination, then cool. Leave the rest of it to my imagination, and I'll skip buying your silly fucking book.
I'm imagining some Blood in, Blood Out type stuff or American Me stuff where they smoke.
They pass the wire?
Yeah, they pass the
Dang.
wire. Type
Fuck.
stuff. I don't know. I mean, you gotta question everything.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. I'm definitely not buying her book. I don't think I ever will. I'm not interested in it.
I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody will.
No.
Her
If
char-
you receive
her-
it free, would you read it?
No.
What's that? What?
If you receive it free.
There's a lot of other better shit that I have on my list that I need to read and I haven't
know.
read. Like, why would I read that?
No.
I still gotta read Jocko's book. I
That's
still
a
gotta
good
read.
I have the audiobook. I haven't even started it.
Yeah, There's another audiobook. There's quite a few on my list. But right now I'm listening to Crucial Conversations.
Oh, that sounds like.
It's a really good book. Actually, I recommend people reading that book. Yeah. Yeah, man. Another thing I had on my list, I think that was pretty much.
I didn't bring a list today.
You didn't bring a list today?
No. So the one thing I did want to talk about is the post we made earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
I think
dude,
you guys should read the comments on it.
why? We're gonna talk about it right now.
Touche.
All right.
Sorry there.
The dude that found, what was it, 11
So
grand?
there's so a guy you know on Tuesdays and Thursdays uses his trailer to take shit to the dump
Right.
for extra money, and he says he normally doesn't look through the stuff because he's like, well, whatever. But you know, on that one day, there was a little box that came out of from underneath one of the couches he was dumping, and it had 11 grand in it.
Oh,
Mhm.
And he said it obviously belonged to one of the 3 houses where he went and picked up shit that day.
Yeah.
And his question was like, do I return it or do I keep it?
Should I stay or
Keep
should
it.
I go?
Here's
Because if you don't keep it, this is my
okay.
2 cents.
Go for it.
If if you don't keep it and then you go, oh, did they live in them? Oh, sure. Who knows if
Mhm.
you're giving it to the right person?
Yeah. I mean, that's
I know what you're
that's what my
trying to-
buddy Renee said. I mean, that's what we commented on.
Of
our
course,
Instagram
everybody's
page.
gonna say yeah.
The_epic. He said all three homes
Mhm.
are going to say it belongs to them, so might as well keep it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But I see where you're. I think you're going more towards the karma kind of thing.
Yes,
where-
I
you know what I
am,
mean?
because
Yeah.
I'm that type of. You're right, man. Wrong hole. It happens. It happens.
Pajarito.
Uh,
Pajarito.
But just cough it all out, bro.
Yeah.
Just let it out. It happens. It's happened to me. Wrong
Ugh.
hole. Goes down the windpipe. That's annoying sometimes.
It
You
is.
know? Because it's
Especially
like
when
you're
it
trying to
goes
drink
down.
and breathe at the same time. You're like, I'm
You know what?
drowning.
It's worse when you're driving and that shit happens.
Oh my gosh.
You're like,
Yes.
fuck.
So I like to karaoke while I'm driving,
Yeah.
and there's certain songs that have like long notes, and sometimes I get lightheaded. I'm like, oh shit, I
probably
probably
not
should
a
have
good
done that.
idea.
Dude, I commend you doing that shit when you're driving because fuck, I couldn't do that shit.
I shouldn't do that, but it's
It's better than texting.
yeah, because I
true.
know the songs that I'm singing, so I don't have to look at the screen. But still, though, it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Back on topic. Okay.
Oh,
Back on
sorry,
topic.
sorry.
Yes.
So-
So on the karma side, yes, I do think about that
Okay.
often but at the same time, it's a hard choice.
Let me ask you something, and this is
Yes.
this is one thing that you guys skipped over, both of you, before coming up with an answer.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna logic this shit.
Logic. Dude,
Okay.
some people don't like logic.
I don't give a
So
fuck. I like
tread
it.
lightly.
I like
I
it.
love logic.
Okay, so here's the thing. First
Okay.
question you gotta ask: do you know which house exactly it belongs to?
Well, the dude said 3 houses.
No. Okay, he said there's 3 houses, but
Mhm.
do you know exactly which one?
No, you don't.
No.
Well, are we assuming that? Okay, let's assume we don't know.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
then that makes a case for keeping it. Because
you'll find out where the couch came.
well, no.
Oh.
Besides that, right?
Mhm.
Like that makes a case for keeping it if you don't know where it is. Because my thinking that is that if you knew exactly which house it comes from, then
Mhm.
you're stealing it,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
right? There's some deniability there if you don't know which
Right.
one of the 3 houses it came from.
There's a lack of character like Omarosa. If you know exactly which house the couch came from, then yeah.
I think, yeah, right. That's the important question. That's one question because
Mhm.
the comments were locked on it by the time I found that I didn't get to ask these questions, right?
Right.
So, first, what, what house did it come from? If you don't know where it came from,
Mm-hmm.
then cool, keep it.
But if you do,
But before that,
Oh.
let's look at the post. The guy does this for extra money.
Mm-hmm.
There was his extra money. That's it.
11
true.
grand worth
That's
of it.
where it stops.
Or you can go Carlos's, our buddy Carlos, where he said, I'll just return the $1,000. Now, I took that as like, I only found $1,000. That's a police move.
Okay, look.
We
Look.
found, 200 keys when it's really like 500.
Okay,
Yeah.
What to the rest?
look. But the problem with that is
Mm-hmm.
that, let's say they didn't know about it,
Uh-huh.
right? Oh, cool, thanks. Let's say they did know about it. Oh, yeah, Grandpa used to hide, money around the house, and, he left a note saying there was
then the
$11,000
guilt comes in.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Where is it at? I don't know. It's Easter, bitch. Go look for that.
Yeah.
Kick rocks. No.
Another thing is like, could you look in somebody's face? Like, see, I think I think it's worse
Mm-hmm.
to go and return a partial amount because then you're lying to them.
Mm.
Like,
Mhm.
like if you're already lying to them, if you knew where it came from and you kept it,
Mm-hmm.
in a way you're lying to them, but not really because they probably didn't know it was there,
So
or else they wouldn't have thrown it away.
so see, that's why it's better just to keep it. And
Right.
know
I
anything
think
about it.
so my order of things
Mhm.
is, if we don't know where it came from, then
Mhm.
you keep it.
Right. Right.
What's it called? The Maslow. Gosh, what's it called?
I don't know.
Maslow order of something, rather. See, I'm not that smart. But anyways,
Yeah. So if you don't know where it came from, just keep it. You're doing it for extra money. There's your extra money. Enjoy.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
they were all old $100 bills. What you go into a bank and be like, hey, well, those are still
Those are still
valid,
fine.
right?
Those are
They're
still
fine.
100% valid.
They'll just
Promissory notes, right?
No,
That's
no,
a
no.
fun
They're
concept.
just actual like before the redesign.
they'll probably
was
flag
what I
your
was
ass for
thinking.
so much money. But
No, well, probably. See, it's cash though, so it's like one of those things. Like you deposit,
Yeah,
you go have some fun. Then you deposit the rest of it. Or
I know once I deposited like almost $8,000, and I had to show my ID. And it was for a job I had.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that can happen. I mean, that's the thing is okay. So let's go back to it. So if you don't know where it came from, my thinking is that you keep it. If you do know where it came from
Mhm.
and you keep it,
Then it's
eh,
still.
Yeah.
it's kind of you're kind of lying and you're kind of stealing.
Yeah.
If you know where it came from,
Mhm.
you go back to them and you give them $1,000,
Uh-huh.
then I think that's worse because
See-
not only are you stealing it because you knew it was theirs, but now not only are you stealing, but you're also lying to them.
Right. So here's my thing. I wouldn't straight up ask, hey, did you have a couch and it have money in it?
No, of course not.
I would, me being the person I am, I would go back to the houses that I think I picked up the couch from and be like, hey, did I take a couch from your house?
Yeah.
They have to know whether you took a couch or
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
right?
I dumped at a couch.
So it's
So
like,
well, let's play this out.
yeah.
So yeah, that was my couch. Why?
What, then describe the couch to me.
It was a brown couch. It was lightly squirted on.
Mhm.
It had a stain.
Yeah, that wasn't the couch. No,
Oh, okay.
sorry.
Oh, okay.
See, I mean, you can have the same thing with pets or whatever. It's like describe, when there's a lost pets, like
But
describe.
what if it? Okay, so then what if it's? Oh, it was a black leather couch. And that's a couch.
Okay.
Then what?
Then you would pick out certain characteristics about the couch.
Okay. So
You know
let's
what?
say
Like there was a tear somewhere. Where was the tear at?
Okay, so let's say I nail 100% the description of the couch.
Mhm.
Then what?
What's the likelihood of that?
It could happen.
It's obviously
if you're
uh-huh.
okay, so if it's one of the so are you saying that you're gonna ask them in order to find out whose couch it is?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So again, let's say I'm the third house you go to,
Mm-hmm.
and I describe the couch to a T, and I tell you where all the lightly squirted on marks are, whatever.
Mhm.
Then what happens?
Then I would let them know, like, hey, this is what I found. I just thought I'd let you know.
Too much.
In good conscience, I just can't.
So 100% of the time you would give it back.
I would.
Okay.
And not expecting something back either. If they want to give me something, cool. If not, then whatever. It's like, it's the principle of like,
Okay.
Let's
Let's take this further.
uh-huh.
Because I've seen these stories of like where somebody's like walking down the street and they find a bag of money.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say that those same $11,000 you find in a brown gym bag
Yeah.
Mhm.
on the side of the road. You look around, there's nobody around. What do you do with it?
I'll take it.
That's honestly different because that's a different situation. Because in this case, you are a person with a truck picking up certain.
Of course,
certain
of
houses.
course, yeah.
But
So
if
you
it was
can
a
track
brown
it down.
bag,
So
if
you
it was
can
a
track
brown
it down.
bag, turn into the authorities. Most of the time, you do get a certain reward if they don't find the owner that claims it.
don't know.
Like I said, in for my own conscience, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna do whatever, and not to toot my own horn, not to seem like some self-righteous motherfucker, because I'm not.
We're all reasoning this in different
Yeah,
ways.
right.
I mean, there's
Which
nothing.
I'm not a self-righteous.
Look, I have
saying-
like a
yeah.
true story. True
Okay.
story. It happened to me. I found $100,
Mhm.
and I found them at my job. So I was walking outside for lunch, and I was like, and you know when you notice something that fly by, like something like
Yeah.
weird, I looked. I was like, oh shit, that's $100.
Yeah.
I was like, whoop. Oh,
Well,
who am I
I've-
gonna find out? Whatever.
I've done the same
Okay.
thing too. Yeah.
I went home. I went back to work from a lunch, so I
Mhm.
was working, and then somebody called. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "I lost my $100." He's like, "I left it outside." He's like, "I was counting my money and I left it."
Mhm.
So that when I was like,
Yeah.
That's where
that
you're like,
I would
you
give it
know,
back.
I did give it back.
Yeah.
I told him, "Yeah, dude."
Yeah.
I was like, "I found it." He's like, "I
Exactly.
have it right here." He's like, "Oh man, thanks." I wasn't expecting anything back,
They give you a
Right.
handy.
huh?
they give you a handy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I just gave it to him, and then it's funny
Uh-huh.
because once I told everybody the story, and he was like, "Did you ask for anything back? Did he give you any like tip?" He was like, "No."
And that's
No.
the
I was-
thing.
no.
It's like,
That's the thing. See, and there was one time when I was at the Bank of America
Mhm.
off of Sierra. You know how windy it gets in Fontana, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was behind this lady in the ATM, and like right as it was like out of a fucking movie. Like as soon as her money came out and she went to go grab it and she grabbed it,
It just
the
flew?
wind kicked up and it kicked up a whole, like your just fucking money just exploded from
Bolo.
Like
Like
Bolo.
That fucking Bautizos Bolo.
She was fucking running off like she had left her card. Like some of the money was still sticking out of the ATM or whatever. It was crazy. It was
Yeah.
just like she fucking just ran off and started chasing after it. I'm like, fuck, dude. So I got the rest of the money from the ATM,
Mm-hmm.
which was like there was probably like another like I don't know, maybe like $60 or $80, but probably like I want to say maybe it probably looked like it could have been like $200-$300. It just exploded from her hands.
Yeah, yeah.
And I grabbed it and I was like, well, I just took her card inside. I was like, hey, like this lady's probably going to come in looking for her card. Like, here's the money that was with it. Like, at that point, it's different, right?
Mhm.
Because you know, like, and in your story, that's different too.
Yeah.
Because you know that
Mhm.
somebody came and
Somebody
they were
came
like,
forward.
Yeah, yeah.
It's happened to me another time where I went to an ATM at a hotel and I went to go get money from it. And I looked down and there was $60 in the machine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna. I kept that shit. I was like, well,
Yeah, yeah.
fucking, it's my lucky day.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That happened
'Cause
to me
it
in the
was one of-
casino. I was like, fuck, I didn't have to put a quarter. I already got $20.
It was like one of those ones where like you kind of has a tray and you reach
Mhm.
it. It's not like the money pops out. It's like
Yeah.
the ones where it kind of
Mm.
dispenses it onto a little tray.
I mean, there's certain situations where it's almost it's nearly impossible to
Oh, fine. Who? Yeah.
find out whose it is. Like I was in Solvang, you know, up more north towards Ventura County or whatever, and yeah, in the gutter I saw like it was $100. I think it was $100 bill. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, oh, whose $100 bill is this?
Well, everybody's
People would be
gonna
like,
tell
oh,
you.
that's mine,
That's
it's mine,
mine.
it's mine,
That's
right?
fine, yeah.
It's hard, but
Can you describe it?
exactly. Oh, it looks like the. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
It has a little bit of cocaine
What
in
was
it.
the serial
Oh
number on there?
shit. That's
So-
a party.
So it's different compared to okay, you went back to 3 houses,
Yeah.
right? Describe what the couch looked like, because maybe there might be someone who described, but
Here's the thing.
if they're gonna discard a couch, there's got to be certain flaws to it that only the owner of the couch knows of the flaws. This is
Here-
why I got rid of the couch.
Okay, so let's look at it this way.
Yeah.
It's even possible that maybe like the people may have like that used to live in
Mhm.
the house died, and they're like, just they got rid of they're
Yeah.
getting rid of the couch because
But-
they're getting rid of all the furniture and shit inside the house. They're just cleaning it out. They're cleaning it out.
Estate sales happens often.
Right, right. But let's say that they didn't like everything was shit, and or the estate sale happened. Nobody took the couch
Okay.
because it was lightly squirted on,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and and they were just throwing all
So
that
modest.
shit. They were just throwing that shit away.
Lightly squirted.
Yeah, maybe they weren't
So-
familiar with the couch.
So here's the thing: is maybe even the person clearing out the house may not even be the owner or related to the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
May just be somebody that's like.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the couch.
But see, here's the thing: is like to your point.
Mm-hmm.
If it's somebody that's just like that, there's it was just an old couch. Like they're not gonna notice that it was lightly squirted on, and they're just gonna that shit was
Let's get
nasty.
rid
It
of
was
it.
just like whatever. We're
Mhm.
getting rid of it.
But here, okay,
And at that point, you're like, okay, yeah. So then that was your couch.
Here's my logic. If let's say the first house I stop at, they describe it. General, it was an estate sale. They don't know where the exact scuff marks or cuts or whatever in the couch is. I'm not gonna stop at that first house. Be like, oh, you described the color and the look of the couch. It's yours. I'm gonna go to all 3 couches and see, all 3 houses and see every house's response, and then from there I will deduce. It's like, all right, well, this,
It was close. That's too
Hmm.
much work for me.
it's
I don't know.
Look, work.
Yeah. And
If work is worth it when it is morally right, in my opinion. Like for example, today I had to go into work. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning, went into work at 5 a.m. because one of my clients, their clinic did not want to release their medical records to our company for their life insurance application. So I had to go to the clinic. I'm not going to name the clinic because, for legal reasons or whatever. But this client applied for life insurance in April.
mm-hmm.
Until now, I had to go into the clinic, and even then, they didn't want to release that information, which was ridiculous in my opinion. It's like you're putting this client at risk for not.
Because what if something happens to him?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like, especially from April to August, that's quite a long time. What if something had
Mhm.
happened to them?
Don't they send over like the wave to where you could get the information and stuff like that? They still don't want to do it, or
No, I mean we were jumping over hoops trying to get this information. I mean
Oh.
I was following up constantly, and so when it's morally right, the work is worth it because whether I get a monetary gain out of this or not, I don't care. It's the feeling of being able to help out my fellow human being. But that's just the type of person I am. Not everybody's like the way.
yeah.
But that was the help. Somebody was helping you out by saving up 11 grand and then lightly squirted on couch so that somebody could find it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I guess. But still, I mean, it's.
I don't know. I honestly, I can't say that 100% of the time I would give it back. I can't say that. There's no way. I just, I can say what I think I would do, but then if I had the box sitting in front of me and it was 11, which surprisingly, like 10 grand in hundreds it's not as impressive as you would think it is.
No, it's not.
It seems like,
not small, yeah.
it seems like a lot more money than it is.
In the movies, you'll see suitcases full of.
Well, that's not.
Yeah.
And it's not. No, dude. It's
this
not.
is
In
not-
reality, it's not.
10
it's
grand
probably
is
like,
like,
yeah,
meh.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
but I mean, and also, I mean, it depends on circumstances. You may be hurting at the time.
Well, again, suppose I'm doing this for extra money. That's my extra money.
Nah.
I think, maybe I hit it harder next week to try to find another 11 grand.
Okay, so to each their own.
Yeah. There's no wrong answer, in my
No.
opinion. There's no wrong answer because it's one of those things that, like, really, it just
No,
depends
but-
on. It's situational, but it's fun to think about.
But it's good because it like works your mind and see how you think.
It's
and
not as
how-
exciting as thinking about, like, what if I won the lottery, because that's not that amount of money. But
Yeah.
it's a realistic amount of money. Like, it could still happen. It could happen to you.
Today I was when I'm speaking of the lottery, changes the subject, but he was all talking because we have this coworker, and every time they work with him, he's not very friendly, so he's
Mhm.
pretty outspoken and stuff like that. So
Okay.
my coworker comes in, he's like, you know what? He's like, I would wish for him to win the lotto. I was like, why? He's like, because at least he doesn't have to work here, and I don't have to deal with it. I was like,
Damn.
that's
Yeah.
pretty generous, bro.
Not even like, I wish I won the lotto so
Yeah,
I
I
could
don't have
stop
to work
working
here.
here. Yeah, no.
Wow.
You would wish that
that
he
bad?
won.
That bad of an attitude?
I guess so.
Damn.
I thought it was funny. I think it was like the
That's
best.
interesting. That's an interesting way of putting that.
Yeah. That's got to be a
I was
really
like, damn,
bad
bro.
attitude.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you're just getting all the good karma after that. Huh? He's like, hell yeah. He's like, I'll take it.
Man, that. Wow. I
Can you
mean, what does that
imagine?
say about that person's character?
I wonder if he records phone calls.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's better that he record. It's better that he train kids, to shoot up schools than actually record phone calls, because that's reprehensible. but yeah, I don't know. I guess, like I said, I don't know. What do you think? Is there a possibility in which you would return it? Is there a scenario in which you would return it?
Not if I knew exactly where that couch came from. Probably I would.
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
But if I didn't, no.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to, like, at least wrap it up for an answer. For me, I can't say 100% of the time I would return it.
Mhm.
Edgar says 100% of the time he would return it.
I
Yeah,
would
he'll
at
go
least
after it.
attempt to.
If I remember where the couch came from, I would.
I would make my best attempt to. If I can't find the person, well then, hey, guess what?
I think
An extra 11 grand in my savings, my retirement.
I think I would contact my attorney, Brian Mason, and and ask them if there's legal precedent for finders keepers.
There you go.
Losers, weepers.
Or you can contact John Aguirre team. Be like, hey, I got enough for a down payment for a property, man. Let's do this.
There you
Fast,
go.
simple, and sold, bro. You got anything that's fast, simple, and sold? Let's do this, man. I got some money to invest into a property.
There you go.
So,
Yeah, I
man.
think that's everything as far as stuff that I
Today's
kinda
news
came to
stuff?
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff
I
that
agree,
came to mind.
Well,
Short, simple, and sweet. Well, compared to other podcast mates, it's been an hour
Hour
and
and
45
45,
minutes. We usually
yeah.
do 2 hours, but I mean, it's been pretty,
been a
interesting
good one.
week.
yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot to talk about, especially me.
We'll
I
see what
can't
next
shut
week
up.
brings.
But thank you guys for joining us. It was fun revisiting Bulleit Bourbon.
This is actually my first time having it.
You never had it before?
No, this is the first time having it.
Wow.
I'm not crazy. It's
okay.
It's good. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
But it's not great.
I'll say that it's when you go to a party, this is a whiskey that's not Jack Daniels that you can take. That's inexpensive. That's decent enough on its own, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Whether it's a neat or on ice or a little bit of water, it's a bottle you can take to a party where you won't be
Oh
like,
yeah, I can see that.
I'm shit out of money.
Yeah.
I bought this expensive bottle of whiskey that they added Coke to or Pepsi. Is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you can add Coke to this and be fine with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
I think
all around enjoyable in my
bottles,
opinion.
like the original bottle, the small bottle, I think it's like $25. $30
Yeah, it's fairly inexpensive. I think even this one is not that expensive. The
No,
bigger
I
one
think
is
it's like 40,
No.
yeah, $50.
yeah.
There you go, man. Thank you
Alright.
guys for joining us. If you guys stuck around, I mean, even if you didn't, I mean, whatever's, it's cool. Episode 51,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
and we'll be back with episode 52
Next week.
Next week.
next week. We'll see what news happens between now and then. I think I like this whole thing. Oh, okay, before we go, pet peeves. That's one question I wanted to ask.
I think we answered that last
Oh,
week.
no, sorry. Guilty pleasures.
Man. I can't really think of one. I guess if I really had to pick one, I don't know. Picking your nose in your car in traffic.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's rather enjoyable.
Guilty pleasure I've had recently is watching reaction videos of hip hop heads. The majority are African American. The majority are black.
What's guilty? There's nothing guilty about that.
No. Well, listening to rock music.
There's nothing guilty about that.
No?
No.
Nothing
No.
guilty?
No.
All right. Well, then I guess I don't have a guilty pleasure.
All right.
Bullshit.
No, but I love watching those reaction videos because it just proves that music brings together everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I
it's-
like those videos too. But it's not a guilty pleasure.
Okay. Well, I must have misunderstood what guilty pleasure means.
Maybe, I don't know.
English is my second language.
That's true.
But I love watching it because it's their first time watching or listening to the Deftones. First time listening to Alice in Chains. First time listening to Tool, Pink Floyd, The Doors, and they're like
Oh, that's a
blown
pretty good one, yeah.
away. They're like, wow, like how come? And they're like keep sending these requests of this music because I'm digging this. They're like positive, like, oh my god, like what was that? Like I get chills listening to this, like Alice in Chains,
Yeah.
Rooster, or
You're talking about the
Deftones.
kids and stuff like that?
No, they're not kids. These are grown adults. They're hip hop heads all their life.
Oh,
whether
okay,
whether it be
okay.
they're
Sorry, I
black
missed
or
that.
whether it be
Yeah.
Caucasian or Hispanic hip hop heads or just people that were just stuck on one genre of music
And then they saw.
and they're trying to expand their view on different types of music. And
Oh,
they're-
okay, that's pretty cool. I could see how that
That's
could
why I
be a guilty
love
pleasure, kinda.
watching those videos. It just proves to me that like we can get along, and music is one of those factors that brings us together.
Oh yeah, I agree with
If
that.
it's good shit, fuck, dude, you'll fucking headbang next to whoever the fuck it is,
Yeah.
or just groove to whatever type of music.
All right, but that's cheating. So you got to think of one for next week.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will think of a guilty pleasure. I will look at the dictionary and
I look at the
because obviously I missed the whole point of what a guilty pleasure is.
All right.
So, thank you guys for joining us.
See you next week.
We'll catch you guys next week.
See you guys.
Peace.
So-